What is going on, y'all? It is the Caveman back at it again with another video. Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. It is 2022 and I simply cannot believe it. I want to thank you guys for an amazing year. You've made this journey so much easier for me. I hope you enjoy not only your New Year, but your Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate with your loved ones. I hope it's been an amazing couple of weeks for you. I'm doing my game picks today, and understandably, it's not Thursday. I haven't been doing my picks on Thursdays because it's just so impossible to predict games when guys are coming on and off the COVID list. I don't know who's going to be available, so it's hard to predict the outcome. We have a full slate of games tomorrow on Sunday, and it's ever so exciting. I'm going to give you my opinions on what's going to happen in all of these games, but before we get into that, you guys know the drill around here. Mott's applesauce, if you're ever hungry, thirsty, whatever it might be, Mott's applesauce will satisfy whatever satisfy you need. Satisfy the K-Man guarantee. I promise it will never fail you. It's 2022, people. Great way to start the new year is by watching some NFL football. We got a full slate of games. The first game in 2022, we have the Indianapolis Colts, the hottest team in football, in my personal opinion, taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Carson Wentz was on the COVID list, to my understanding. He has been activated. He will be available for this game. That was the only worry. I think Jonathan Taylor is going to have a field day per usual. The Colts really shouldn't have a problem. On the Las Vegas Raiders, they're hanging by a thread right now. Derek Carr is doing every single little thing he can, but this is quite an uphill battle. I don't think that defense is going to be able to hang in there against JT, and I'm going with Indianapolis at home all the way. Next up to bat, we have the Chicago Bears hosting the New York Giants. This game does not have much sex appeal whatsoever. The Bears are coming off that impressive victory where Demir Bird had that crazy catch on a two-point conversion to beat the Seattle Seahawks, but otherwise, this game really doesn't offer very much. The Bears are 5-10. The New York Giants have no chance of making it anywhere. Going with the Bears here, they're at home. There's not much to say. Beyond, once again, we have a game that really does not offer much entertainment value whatsoever. The New York Jets are hosting the reigning Super Bowl champions. Yeah, I mean, as far as money line picking goes, as far as straight up game picks, there's no question who you're taking here. Moving on, we have a game that you'd expect to be tremendously lopsided as the Buffalo Bills are hosting the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are in a very dicey spot right now. To my knowledge, they're in a playoff spot. And if they win this game, their chances of making the postseason skyrocket tremendously. I, of course, am taking the Bills in this game, but that spread terrifies me. That money line terrifies me. I would stay away from this game. I'm taking the Bills. I'm not looking back. Just be careful. Next up, we have a game that has a lot at stake for one team involved, as the Philadelphia Eagles are being hosted by their divisional neighbor, the Washington Football Team. I'm taking the Eagles 10 out of 10 times here, but knowing the spot the Eagles are in, how bad they need this game, Jalen Hurts being inconsistent, not to mention it's a divisional game. The football team is coming off of a matchup where they just got demolished by the Dallas Cowboys. There's a lot of upset red flags just kind of waving right now that make me think this game could go the wrong way. But with that being said, I'm not getting cute. I'm not getting crazy. The Philadelphia Eagles should 100% win this matchup. Moving on, we have a pretty pivotal matchup in the AFC. This is one of many deciding games for the future playoff picture in the AFC, as the Cincinnati Bengals are hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a humongous game. I view this game to be the game of the week. The Bengals need this game for a plethora of reasons, not only to make the playoffs, not only to win their division, but not to mention, I think this is a big prove-it game for the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't think they've really beaten anybody to show the rest of the world that they can hang with the best of the best. And with that being said, I don't think this is going to be the time they do that either. Bengals are flying high right now. They just dismantled the corpse of the Baltimore Ravens, so they're coming into this game thinking they're the big bad boys of the AFC, and I think the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, are going to put a humbling on the young core of Cincinnati. I think the Bengals will be a good team for years to come, but this year, I think success is coming a little too quick, and I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to give them a nice little whooping, so I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs on the road against the Cincinnati Bengals. This next game, talk about massive spreads. The -16.5 New England Patriots host the Jacksonville Jaguars. I have no doubts that the Patriots come out with a victory in this game, but, I mean, that spread is just way too damn large, man. Next up, we have quite the pivotal game. We have a lot of pivotal AFC playoff picture games this week, and this is one of them, potentially the biggest of them all. The Tennessee Titans host the Miami Dolphins. This is the biggest game of their season thus far. Dolphins have had a roller coaster of a season. They're the first team in NFL history to start off the season with a 7-game losing streak, just to follow it up with a 7-game winning streak and give themselves a chance at a playoff berth. Now, will they accomplish that? Unfortunately, I'm not thinking they will, but it would be pretty awesome to see. In this game specifically, they're taking on the Titans, who really need this game to keep the division in hand. It's just such an uphill battle. I want to see the Dolphins do it because I like to root for underdogs at the end of the day. It's just too much of a fight. I got to give it to the Titans. For our final 1 o'clock game, we have a game that's going to be a bloodbath. The Los Angeles Rams are going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens, who are coming out of that brutal beatdown that the Bengals put on them just last week. They are pretty much down to a second or third string at almost like every position at this point, especially their secondary. All these injuries, the Ravens went from being at the top of the AFC North to losing the division and to potentially even missing the playoffs. And with Lamar being hurt, their chances just deplete even more. Even if Lamar was playing on that bum ankle, he's not going to be able to escape Leonard Floyd, Aaron Donald, and Von Miller. I mean, it's almost probably better if Tyler Huntley plays because, you know, he's healthy enough to be able to run away from those guys. But at practice, Lamar, when he was on the field, the dude can barely walk up the practice field without limping. Either way, it doesn't matter. Ravens lose this game, Rams all the way. Moving into our afternoon window, we have once again another very pivotal AFC deciding matchup as two divisional neighbors face off. The Los Angeles Chargers will be hosting the Denver Broncos. The Chargers have been upset by the Broncos once this year, and they just came off of an upset loss to the Texans. They need this game if they want to stay in a playoff spot. Knowing how inconsistent the Chargers are, this game could go either way. I'm going to give the Chargers the victory because there's just no way in my mind they drop both games to the Broncos this year. But in the case they do, they could be the ones on the outside looking in, with the Raiders potentially hanging on by a thread, with the Broncos being allowed back into the mix if they win over the Chargers. This game means a lot for a lot of different teams in the AFC West, so we'll see how it plays out, but I'm going to take the Chargers. Next up, we have a game that really should be extremely lopsided, but with the way the league has gone this year, you never know. But the San Francisco 49ers will be hosting the Houston Texans. We will be seeing Trey Lance in action as Jimmy Garoppolo deals with some thumb issues, and I think that actually helps the 49ers in this case. I truthfully might think that the 49ers have a better chance with Trey Lance under center than they do with Jimmy Garoppolo. I think the type of offense the 49ers are able to run with a guy like Trey Lance limits turnovers, and Jimmy Garoppolo is the king of turning the ball over. The dude cannot stop making mistakes. If you can limit your mistakes, you're going to win a lot more football games, and I think Trey Lance will be doing that exact thing. And with that being said, I think they take this game easily, and Trey Lance has a pretty damn good day as a rookie. Now, I just realized I have yet to take an underdog in this entire video, but that's about to change. The Dallas Cowboys are hosting the Arizona Cardinals, who have been sledding downhill at an insane rate. I mean, suddenly out of nowhere, we all thought they were the best or one of the best teams in the NFL, and they just started to plummet out of nowhere. I refuse to believe that the Cardinals season up to this point has been a complete fluke and that they're all of a sudden frauds, right? I just think that they're a victim of the 2021 season where anybody can win and anybody can lose in any given week, and they just come out on the wrong end of a couple ugly losses. And with that being said, they need a game to get back on track to prove to the world that they still are the top contending team in the NFC. And what better way to do that than doing it on the road against another top NFC contending team in the Dallas Cowboys? Everyone is counting out the Arizona Cardinals as we speak, and I think there's no better time for them to bounce back. They're pretty large underdogs, but they play extremely well on the road, and that's exactly the case here. They need a game to prove to everybody that they're still that top team, and I just think this is a perfect opportunity to catch everybody off guard, and I'm going with the Cardinals here. Next up, we have an NFC South divisional matchup that does not provide much entertainment value whatsoever. The New Orleans Saints host the Carolina Panthers. I don't expect much from this game, although Sam Darnold is making his return from injury, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Can he bounce back after having such a great start and then a pitiful downfall into that injury? Hopefully, he'll be able to get back on track, but either way, I'm going to go with the Saints here. I mean, this one's a coin flip. The Carolina Panthers could easily come out on the right end of this one, but I'm going to take the safe route and go with the Saints. For our final matchup before prime time, we have a game that I think a lot of people are going to enjoy just because the Detroit Lions are involved as they travel to Seattle to take on the Seahawks, who, like I mentioned briefly earlier, are coming off that upset loss against the Chicago Bears on the 2-point conversion for the win. I'm going to take the safe route. I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks, but I can't sit here and lie to you. I am 100% pulling for the Lions to win this game. I think it'd be awesome to see them snatch another damn soul in a game they have no business winning. you know, it's very possible. The Seahawks are primed for this exact scenario as they've been struggling tremendously this year. They haven't been able to get on track, and I don't think this game is going to be any different. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks, but the Detroit Lions have as good as a chance as they've had all year. And as for our Sunday night game in Week 17, we have the Aaron Rodgers Green Bay Packers hosting the divisional rival Minnesota Vikings, who will not be led by Kirk Cousins because he is on the COVID list. So now we have a primetime game where Aaron Rodgers faces off against the second string quarterback. So this is going to be great. I wonder how this one's going to go. For our final game, our Monday Night Football game here in Week 17, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers hosting the Cleveland Browns. This is a pretty important matchup in the AFC, not only just the North, but the conference as a whole. I just don't think it's going to be that close, if I'm being perfectly honest. I'm taking the Cleveland Browns, and let me tell you why. Cleveland Browns came so damn close to taking down the Green Bay Packers, except they self-sabotaged themselves. Baker Mayfield threw 4 interceptions, and then for some reason on the final drive of the game, they didn't put the ball in Nick Chubb's hands, who was winning them the football game single-handedly, and they just completely threw it away. But either way, it's impressive enough that he threw that many interceptions and they still only lost by a couple points. With that being said, they should have no issue running the Pittsburgh Steelers out of the building. Big Ben doesn't even want to play football anymore. The dude has no interest in Pittsburgh. He's got no interest in the game. He's just done. They're hanging on by a thread. I think this is a coffin sealer for him. I'm going with the Browns. So those are my picks. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. I only took one upset, which is kind of rare for me, but I agree with the general public on a majority of these games. I just don't see a lot of upset potential with some of these matchups. And with that being said, I think it's going to be a pretty solid week. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, as always, please like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. If you want to hit the bell to be notified when I upload, I'd appreciate that. You want to go over to Twitter, follow me over there, I'd appreciate that as well. I have a TikTok down in the description if you want to check that out as well. And I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.